They are implying that Donald Trump gave a you-know-what, a blowy to Bill Clinton. What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be reacting to the worst of the 20,000 Epstein emails by Upper Echelon. I am super excited, man.
All right. Today I want to go
Let's get
over
into
the
it.
20,000 emails that were recently subpoenaed and released from the Epstein estate because everyone is talking about this right now with good reason. And I want to pick out the 21 most interesting, damaging, and shocking revelations because the story of Jeffrey Epstein, his ties to Donald Trump, his level of global influence, and the implications it all has for the country and the world has now been blown wide open. Donald Trump has long maintained that he split away from Jeffrey Epstein entirely in the early 2000s. There's been multiple contradicting reasons directly cited for that breakup, let's call it, but all of them occur between 2004 and 2007. At least, that's what we've been told. In an email thread from an unknown...
Let me just say, there has been more than enough evidence to show that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein communicated past 2007. But, again, allegedly. I hope here we can finally lay that to rest. Let's see what he's about to say.
redacted sender as of 2017. A visitor was on their way to Epstein's house, notably the second floor of Epstein's house, which is where prominent victim Virginia Giuffre specifically indicated the massage tables were, and the bedrooms with cameras were documented in evidence photographs, aka the place where abuse occurred. This unknown person went to meet him as part of an exchange where they ask for a door code while Epstein says that the house is more private for a meeting. And then suddenly, quote, "I'm at the door, but I will wait for my time. I don't want to come early to find Trump in your house," end quote. And keep in mind, this is 2017, nearly a decade after the two had supposedly parted ways. Number 18. This is an exchange.
So there you go, just like I said. I hope we can put that to rest. Obviously, they had communications. If this is your best friend, Donald Trump wasn't in the political sphere until what, 2016 was it? Point being, there's no reason to say that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't Donald Trump's friend all the way up until he started his political campaign, when he knew that his ties with Epstein would get him into trouble.
Allegedly between Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein. Reading, quote, from Epstein, "Prince Andrew and Trump today. Too funny." Bannon, "Recall Prince Andrew's accuser came from Mar-a-Lago." Further down, "Can't believe no one is making you the connective tissue," referring to Epstein. To which Epstein then replies, "F and B only," end quote. Seemingly speaking in code, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that one, but I certainly thought it was interesting. Number 17. This is an exchange between...
You know, I just saw that they finally took away Prince Andrew's official titles and everything. And I wonder if that was because they knew that this was actually finally getting released, man. Because it took some time. Because he had them taken away, then they were given back. Now they're taken again. And so I think that this is probably the thing that they knew about, to where they were like, okay, we can't give them back to you.
Number 16. This is another exchange between Rumler and Epstein on a thread titled "Donald Trump's High Crimes and Misdemeanors." Rumler says, quote, "It makes no difference whether it was his money. Issue is failure to disclose. Plus, fact that he has lied his ass off about it makes clear that he knew it was illegal." To which Epstein responds, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is. My guess is that non-lawyers, New York biz people have no idea what it means to have your fixer flip," end quote. That particular thread is probably about the criminal cases that Trump faced in New York, presumably. But the idea of Jeffrey Epstein saying, "I know how dirty Donald is," should make even the most devout supporters raise an eyebrow. Just to hammer that...
What he's not saying here is that a fixer usually refers to like an assassin, right? A fixer is someone that you, at least as I know it, as I've always heard of the term, a fixer is someone who you call to be an assassin, wash away evidence as well. So it's very interesting that he's not talking about that term. what a fixer is. It's not something that's, like an electrician. It's not like a security worker. It's someone who fixes a problem, if you know what I mean.
That point home, number 15, is an exchange between Larry Summers and Jeffrey Epstein, in which Epstein says, quote, "Recall I've told you I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump, not one decent cell in his body. So
Damn.
yes, dangerous," end quote. Ideally, at this point, the gravity of the situation is beginning to present itself, but we are truly, genuinely only just beginning to scratch the surface of how bad this is getting. Number 13. How many people remember this right here? The weird Bill Clinton painting that Epstein had with a blue dress and red.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Anyone? Okay, well, keeping in mind that this painting was owned by Epstein and hanging in his Manhattan home, let's take a look at this particular email thread between Jeffrey Epstein and Mark Epstein, his brother, in 2018, which says, quote, "How are you doing? All good, Bannon with me. Ask him if..."
Before we go over this, I just have to say, Bill Clinton, you have to address this, bro. You cannot have another grown man having a painting like this of you in their home and not talk about. At least say like, oh, he's an eccentric. I never met the guy. Like, brother, that's crazy, dude. Say it was an elite rich joke. Something. What is that? What? Here, back up. Like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Another grown man has this on their wall of you painted, bro. And you're not going to talk about this at all? Like, you're not even going to be like, oh, that's weird. Nothing? Dog. I would have been out there telling people I have never met this dude. I had sex with his mom. Anything, bro. He hates me. Something.
In 2018, which says, quote, "How are you doing? All good, Bannon with me. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And I thought I had Cirrus. You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. You mean Donnie T," end quote. For the sake of clarity right now, just in case anybody didn't pick up on this, he doesn't say if Putin has photos. He says if Putin has the photos.
Yes.
Their definitive existence. And Bubba, by the way, is one of Bill Clinton's nicknames. I have absolutely no idea what these emails actually mean.
Don't know. Now you don't know what they mean. What are you? What? If you don't know what this is saying, they are implying that Donald Trump gave a a blowy to Bill Clinton. Oh, they're cooked. It's cooked. Lord, please let these people know that I would never kill myself. And please wash my body of all of this dirtiness that I'm feeling in my soul today, Lord. Amen. Okay, because I think I get it now. People are so tired of hearing the Epstein name and not having fucking any actual crazy shit happen that this is getting swept under the rug. We're not letting this get swept under the rug, guys.
7. Good old Landon Thomas comes back around here with an email exchange that appears to be warning Epstein, reading, quote, "He is digging around again. Not clear if it's another book or expanded paperback version. Was asking me all sorts of questions about why you hired Ken Starr. I told him I had no idea. I think he is doing some Trump-related digging too. Anyway, for what it's worth," end quote. Why on earth is a New York Times journalist warning Jeffrey Epstein and giving him a heads up that someone is looking into him and Trump? Why is that happening? And why is that happening at that time during that year? Number 6.
Trump did a massive disservice to himself by implicating all of the news networks as being fake news networks, because it's very clear that even if he himself didn't have direct power over the news networks, he knew someone who could have bought the news networks, or he knew someone who could have ended up, taking over the majority share of the news networks. But by claiming that all of the news networks are fake news, now When we look at this, right, we're not thinking, oh, this one person is crooked. This one journalist is crooked. Now the majority of America is going to think, well, of course that's a crooked journalist. We're not thinking that, oh, of course he's reporting fake news. We're thinking, of course they're crooked. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how that was a massive backfire? Let's keep going.
Number 5. Inexplicably, apparently emailed to himself from another account he controlled, Epstein sends a very long list of names: Rothschild, Rumler, Churkin, Schumer, Rockefeller, some names we know, some names we don't, across a wide range of political affiliations and business sectors. But that email is titled List for Bannon Steve, and it was sent in June of 2019. 1 month later, Epstein faced his second arrest. I don't know what that list is for. I don't know all the people that are on it, right? I don't recognize all of these names, but I can tell you that this is a tiny little fraction of the files that are being withheld from the public, and that the level of discrepancy between what we now see in black and white correspondence versus what the current administration has been incessantly claiming is unignorable. They are not telling the truth.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these names real quick. So, let me go ahead and point out some of the big ones first. We have Gardner Gates. Mimi Gardner Gates is a historian and also happens to be the father of Bill Gates. We have Prince Andrews on the list. We've got Schumer on the list. This right here is terrifying. If Chuck Schumer is on the list, then either he has a guilty conscience and wants this released, or both parties and our entire political system is toast, brother. We have the Rothschilds on here. That's not good. Pritzker Edelman. We know who that is. The Pritzker family is an American family engaged in various business enterprises and philanthropy, and one of the wealthiest families in the United States. They're in the top 10 of the Forbes magazine. If you don't know who the Pritzker family is, you need to do a little bit more research into them. Just a couple names that he didn't point out that have terrifying implications, right? Let's keep going.
Now for some of the most damning things, okay? In a 2018 email thread between Epstein and Thorbjorn Jagland, we can see, quote, I think you might suggest to Putin that Lavrov can get insight on talking to me. Vitaly Churkin used to, but he died. After which Epstein continues later, Churkin was great. He understood Trump after our conversations. It's not complex. He must be seen to get something. It's that simple. End quote. Let's get something straight right now, okay? This is email evidence in 2018 of Jeffrey Epstein, who has repeatedly claimed explicitly to hold compromising information about sitting President Donald Trump, talking to the former Norwegian Prime Minister, and saying that he coached Russia on how to handle Donald Trump. I don't care who you are or what politics or loyalty or affiliations you have. That's a fucking problem. Number 3.
We might be cooked, guys. This is really disturbing. Like you figure that's Prince Andrew, that's the UK, Putin, that's Russia, and then the United States of America is well implicated in just these emails. Like, I hate to say it, but the only people out here not implicated is China. Like, what are we doing, guys? I'm also happy to see no African names. Y'all know what it is, big bros.
Epstein, who has repeatedly claimed explicitly to hold compromising information about sitting President Donald Trump, talking to the former Norwegian Prime Minister, and saying that he coached Russia on how to handle Donald Trump. I don't care who you are or what politics or loyalty or affiliations you have. That's a fucking problem. Number 3. These last 3 are some of the most common. They're the ones that mainstream media have been fixating on, I guess, the most. But there's a very good reason for that. From Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, quote, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. To which Maxwell replies, I've been thinking about that, end quote. Number 2, email to Michael Wolff, quote, blank, Virginia Giuffre, we know that because of context now, Blank worked at Mar-a-Lago. She was the one that accused Prince Andrew. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. End quote. And then lastly, number one, the big cheese, from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein at the end of 2015, quote, I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards. Epstein replies, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? Why the fuck would they be able to craft an answer for him is the real question. And then finally, quote, I think you should let him hang himself if he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and he's gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. End quote.
It's like Elden Ring Dark Souls levels of lore getting released, right? Like, we're going to give you the tidbits and you have to draw your own conclusions. What we just saw was Donald J. Trump very clearly being blackmailed by not one, not two, three different countries. Okay. And we need someone in there, man, who can't be assuaged by other countries' leaders because of emails like this, man. That just is what it is. We cooked, bruh. No, it's worse than that, Dean. We're fucking done. We're burnt, bro. We're cooked.